Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of the Eastland County Today Coaches Show. Let's talk about last Friday evening, shall we? The Cisco Lobos began their district play last Friday with a 49-7 victory over the Holiday Eagles. The Eastland Mavericks also began their district play last Friday evening with a lopsided shutout of the Millsap Bulldogs, 60-0. The Gorman Panthers remain undefeated in this year's play. They defeated the Strawn Greyhounds 87-42. The 45-point rule was invoked halfway through the fourth quarter. The Ranger Bulldogs battled the Eastland Mavericks Red team last Thursday evening. The Mavs came away with a 41-36 victory over the Bulldogs. And the Rising Star Wildcats earned their second victory of the season with a 63-18 victory over Cherokee. The 45-point rule was invoked also in this game halfway through the third quarter. Let's see what our coaches have to say, shall we? The Cisco Lobos defeated the Holiday Eagles easily on Friday evening by 42 points. Taylor Massey ran for 112 yards. He was 4 of 6 from the air for 38 yards and returned a punt 77 yards for a touchdown. Zane Wright carried the ball 11 times for 138 yards. Let's see what Coach West had to say.
All right, Coach West, thanks for your time here this Monday morning. Good win Friday evening against the Holiday Eagles. Pretty much controlled the line of scrimmage, controlled the game from the onset. Give us your impressions of how the Lobos played Friday evening.
I was very proud of them. I thought we kicked most of those mistakes away that we had the week before against Comanche, the turnovers, the goofy 5-yard penalties. We had a few of those, but not near as many. And we sustained drives. We didn't have but maybe one 3-and-out in the entire game. And defensively, we only gave up that one big play. It was the buck sweep, and the speed got loose. But for the most part, I thought we played great. Defensively, we got under every trap. We usually contained all their buck sweeps. We did a great job containing the bootleg pass, probably the best job we've done all year long in that area, and prevented all but one big play. And that was something going in that we were very fearful of.
How about tell us a little bit, Coach, about the play of Taylor Massey? He's seemed to. You even mentioned last week he probably would be better this week after a couple of weeks rest. He seemed to have a good Friday evening performance.
Yeah, Taylor is almost healthy and able to play several positions for us. I think it's helped us that he can be a wide receiver and a quarterback, and I think we're going to continue to make that switch at times and just use he and Case at those two positions and make them interchangeable. I think it's kind of given us a nice look. And what a great game he had. Just his ability to outrun people and a source of speed, but probably more than that, he's a kid that's played in 10 playoff games and in a state championship game, and I don't have many left that actually got that kind of experience. So it's nice to have someone that has won big games and that's leading the show for you.
All right, 1-0 district play. You go to Henrietta. You go to Henrietta this Friday evening. Probably one of your longer bus trips so far. Tell us what you've seen from Henrietta, and what you expect. How do you expect them to challenge the Lobos this Friday evening?
Well, Henrietta's running the same offense and defense that they ran last year, and as you know, last year was a dogfight. We had to come from behind to win that. They are a good football team, and they've got the bulk of their team back. They have the offensive MVP back at quarterback, one of the best receivers in the district's back. They have a 6'5", 235-pound defensive end. It's also playing some tight end back. I felt like he was probably the second best football player in the district last year. And just great size, strength, and pretty dang good speed to go with it. And Coach Byron West, no relation, has done a great job with his crew. Is definitely looked at as one of the better coaches in that area, and he's going to have a great plan for us Friday.
Thanks, Coach West. The Cisco Lobos will take on the Henrietta Bearcats this Friday evening in Henrietta. It will be their second district game of the year. Kickoff will be at 7:30. 30. The Eastland Mavericks shut out the Bulldogs by 60 points this past Friday evening. Chris Martinez had a great game on the ground, 14 carries, 162 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Altogether, the Mavericks rushed for 314 total rushing yards. Let's see what Coach Watkins had to say.
All right, Coach Watkins, thanks for your time this morning. You had a good district opener. It was Eastland's homecoming. Come away with a nice shutout victory against Millsap on Friday evening. Give us your impression of how your boys played Friday night.
Oh, after watching film, we were pleased. We got a lot of guys, a lot of reps, and executed pretty well. Had some penalties that negated some big plays early on. That was frustrating during the game, but we got past that and overcame that, and kind of started clicking and had a good night offensively and defensively. It was a good way to start district.
You mentioned earlier to me, as we talked earlier, about the turnovers as well. You were able to cut those down. That's key as you go into district play.
Right, that's huge. We turned it over 3 times against Clyde, a couple times I think Breckenridge we didn't turn it over, and we didn't turn it over again. So that was 2 games in a row that we've cut out the turnovers, and that's one thing we've been harping is hang on to the ball, take care of it, force turnovers on defense, and then play 48 minutes. And I thought we did a good job of that Friday.
Chris Martinez had a good game, over 100 yards rushing. Seems like he's starting to click at the right time as well.
He is. He's a hard runner. He runs downhill. He's a physical guy, likes contact, and he's starting to get in game shape. And that was the deal. He missed a scrimmage, missed the first game, so he was pretty much 2 weeks behind the rest of the guys, and he's getting there and starting to come on strong.
All right, Coach. District game number 2 this week. City View. You go up to Wichita Falls, City View. Give us your impressions of what you see out of the Mustangs, how they might challenge the Mavericks this Friday evening.
First long road trip of the year, going up to City View, and they got a talented group. A lot of speed on offense, and they have a lot of big play capability. That's the thing we're going to have to stop is shut down the big play, and then we just have to go out and execute and take care of the football on offense. If we do that, then we'll put ourselves in a position to be successful Friday.
Hey, thanks, Coach Watkins. The Mavericks will take on the City View Mustangs this Friday evening in City View. That is up near Wichita Falls. Kickoff will be at 7:30. It will be the Mavericks' second district game of the year. Let's now travel down to Gorman, where the Gorman Panthers upset the perennial power Strawn Greyhounds by 45 this past Friday. Ismael Herrera had a great game, 13 carries, almost 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Flavio Herrera completed 5 passes out of 7 attempts for 99 yards and 4 touchdowns. Let's see what Coach Williamson had to say.
Coach Williamson, thanks for your time this morning. Hey, whenever you can 45 points drawn, you've done something right, Coach. Congratulations on the win Friday evening. Tell us how your boys did. Obviously, they did well, scoring 80-plus points again. Give us your impressions of how the Panthers played Friday evening.
Both offensively and defensively, we came out and we played well. We made some mistakes, turned the ball over a couple of times, but we also created a couple of turnovers. Special teams got a couple of onside kicks, ended up getting a safety toward the end of the game. Boys came out and they played hard. Coach Lee over Strawn does a great job year in, year out. They are young this year. The Allison kid, he came out and he was tough to stop, and we knew he'd be tough to stop. And Coach Lee had his boys ready, and we traded touchdowns back and forth first part of the game, and boys responded. When Strawn responded, we would come back and respond and do a good job moving the ball up down the field, get some crucial stops, at key times in the game, and turn around and score. And I think the difference in the game was, the intensity that our boys had, both on the offensive side and defensive side.
Your senior quarterback, Flavio Herrera, has really had a great season. Tell us about his play, Coach.
Flavio, he's a seasoned quarterback, and he's done a great job for us this year. I believe he threw for 4 touchdowns on Friday night. He does a great job. He sees the field, really well. He's got good composure in the pocket, and the times that he needs to roll out, he does a great job there. He's a great leader. The kids follow his leadership real well, and it helps us to run the offense smoothly. With Flavio in there.
Coach, you go on the road this week. You battle Oakwood. The Panthers of Oakwood, they're at Mount Calm. You said that's just outside of Waco. Give us a little bit of what you know about Oakwood and how Oakwood may challenge your Panthers this Saturday evening.
Oakwood is a very talented squad over there. They've got a new coach this year, Coach Kirkendall. He was over at Grady the last few years, and Coach Kirkendall is a great coach, and he does a great job with whatever team he's with. Oakwood runs a spread. We've faced a spread the last 2 weeks, and we're not doing a great job. We're doing a good job. We're still learning how to defend the spread. Oakwood has a spread back that can go. He's really fast. He sees the field real well and the running lanes. He's not real accurate, with his passes. He can throw the ball downfield real well. Just a matter of hitting the key receivers. But Coach Garrett, Coach Guthrie's done a great job on the defensive side of the ball, on jamming the receivers and, not giving that quarterback that target to be able to hit, and, trying to get the guys up front to either force him to go ahead and throw the ball early, or go ahead and get that sack, or force him out of the pocket and get the linebackers to step up and make the tackle. Oakwood will be ready. I believe it's going to be tough to stop them on the defensive side. Their defense, I think we should be able to move the ball against their defense. They react to the ball real well. They come to the ball. They fly to the football. They play aggressive. They do make some mistakes. I think they might be a little overly aggressive on the defense. We'll come Saturday, we'll find out what they can do.
Thanks, Coach Williamson. The Panthers will take on the Oakwood Panthers this Friday evening in a Battle of the Panthers. That game will be in Mount Calm. That's down near Waco. Kickoff is at 7:30. The Ranger Bulldogs fell to the Eastland Red Team this past Thursday evening in a evenly matched game there in Ranger. Landon Wilkinson rushed for 228 yards and 2 touchdowns. Let's see what Coach Ramsey had to say.
Ramsey, thanks for spending some time with us this morning. It seems like it's been a while since you played your game last week. It was on Thursday night against Eastland's junior varsity red team. Coach, give us your impressions of how your team played against Eastland, and they gave Eastland really all they had in the 41-36 loss. Give us your impressions of your team after Thursday night's game.
We had some breakdowns. Obviously, first play of the game was one of the breakdowns. Our safety he wasn't able to come over and make the play or even help out. He kind of got burned on that play. And then another real important play was the play right before half. They run a little swing pass to the running back, and our linebacker was on a stunt, and there wasn't nobody out there to cover him. And with some bad angles and bad tackling, which we had all night, they ended up scoring with no time left on the clock going into halftime. So that put them up 21-8 at half. And those two plays, in my opinion, are what won those guys the ball games. And they did a great job. Eastland staff did a good job. They, I know they can't prepare them, like a Friday night game like they do that on varsity, but they prepared them enough to be successful. And the kids played hard and did a good job.
All right, Coach. Tell us a little bit about your offense. You were able to put some points on the board against Eastland's JV. Give us your impression of how your offense played.
Well, coming out, like I said, we wasn't exactly sure, what they would do, because within our offense, people line up to our offense, so everybody's different. So, so it's kind of a game during the week trying to figure out exactly how they're going to line up. But, they came out and they was doing something in the first half that it was giving us a little bit of fit. So at halftime we come in and made some adjustments, and that was able to allow us to score 28 points in the second half. But like I said, it's just some things we had to do, formation wise, and to get them out of doing some things that they were doing. And once we started doing that, the ball started moving, and then we was able to go back a little bit and do what we normally do, and then go back to what we adjusted to at halftime. So we kind of kept them off balance, and the kids played hard. The O-line, they graded well this week, and the second half was fun for us to watch and be a part of offensively. But defensively, we got to fix some stuff. We got to make better tackles because our tackling is not very good right now, and we got to fix that.
All right, Coach. You have a bye week this week. Each team gets a bye week, different points of the season. Yours comes right here in the middle of the season, right before district. Give us a little impression, Coach, of how you kind of approach a bye week, what you may do a little differently as you won't be playing Friday evening. What kind of differences will you be? What kind of changes will you be making this week?
Well, we're going to work on tackling. We got to work on that. We got about 7 working days of good practice time. So we're going to work on our tackling. We got to get better at that. This hand tackling, arm tackling stuff it's got to stop. And to me, it's just a mentality. The kids got to be mentally tough enough to want to go in there and put their head and shoulders on them and make a tackle. But with that being said, we've also got some kids that are banged up a little bit, and we had a few concussions and some rolled ankles and some shoulders from the previous week, and we should be getting them back this week or at the end of the week, which allow us to give us time to get healthy for our first district ball game.
Thanks, Coach Ramsey. The Ranger Bulldogs have a bye this week, as you heard Coach Ramsey say. They will open district play next week with a home game against Cross Plains. It will be Rangers homecoming. Our last stop, of course, is in Rising Star. Rising Star earned their second victory of the season this past Friday evening with a 45-point rule victory over the Cherokee Indians. Leading the receiving corps was Tommy Gann. Tommy had 233 yards receiving. Let's see what Coach Calloway had to say.
All right, Coach Calloway, thanks for your time this morning. You got a good victory, a 45-point rule over Cherokee this past Friday evening. You got an opportunity to work on your offense a little bit. Tell us about what you saw from the film and how your guys did on Friday night.
Well, they did a good job. When we came out early in the game, it was back and forth early. They got the ball first, and then they drove down inside the 10, I believe. We got to stop and turn around and punch it in real quick for a touchdown, went back the other direction. And then they scored, and it was kind of back and forth early. We had to make some adjustments on defense to get where we needed to be. But once we made those adjustments, our kids responded and did some good things, got stops and turnovers, and were able to score relatively quickly. So we were able to put points on the board quickly. The kids did good. Every kid on the team that played, we had 9 guys dressed out since we played that JV game last week. Everybody got good reps in for both groups, and I'm proud of the kids the way they played in Cherokee.
Cool. Tommy Gann, I saw the stats, had 200-plus yards receiving. Tell us about your passing game from Friday.
Well, it just things were open. I mean, and a lot of it was yards after the catch. I mean, the throw was maybe 5 to 7 yards, and the run was 40 or 50 after. So, the receivers, both sides, Crispin and Tommy, both did a good job of reading the defensive scheme and what they were supposed to do on their routes. A lot of times we adjust to a read route whenever we're in that situation. So they did a good job. Also, our center got out in some space sometimes, found some open grass, and we could get to him the ball. And we just had a lot of time. Kids blocked well, and like I said, the coverage wasn't superb, but my kids actually responded and knew what they were supposed to do. So it was a good deal for both our receivers and the team as a general.
Cool, Coach. Well, it's that time of year, Coach. It's homecoming. We all have to endure it, I guess you could say, as a football team. You've got Evant here this Friday evening for homecoming. Tell us what you've seen from Evant, what you've heard. How are the Elks going to challenge you this Friday evening?
Well, I think they're going to try to basically just run it down our throats. I mean, that's kind of what from looking at film. That's kind of the philosophy that I think Gordon came in with when we played them. We're going to have to make some adjustments just to strengthen up our line, make sure we play well. They look like a real physical ball club. They are undefeated, so the confidence level of an undefeated team versus us being a 2-3 team coming in is going to be. They're going to have a little bit more confidence, I think. We'd be extremely confident if we were 5-0 right now. We're not. We're 2-3. We've played a tough schedule. They haven't played the caliber we played, I don't believe, but we are going to have to just get ready, especially defensively. It's going to come down to stops. I think we can score with anybody, but we got to play better defense this week than we have all year.
Hey, Coach. Thanks, Coach Calloway. The Rising Star Wildcats will face off against the Evant Elks this Friday evening. Kickoff 7:30 in Rising Star. It is homecoming in Rising Star. Now, for other Eastland County sports news, let me talk a little bit about Cisco College and Ranger College. Both colleges compete against one another in conference play, both in volleyball and in soccer. In volleyball, Cisco and Ranger will take on each other not this Tuesday, not today, but next Tuesday. They will take on one another in Ranger. It will be the part one of the Eastland County Volleyball Showdown. And they also played soccer. Cisco College and Ranger College, the ladies, played soccer last Tuesday. Hopefully you saw the results in our paper this past week. The Cisco Lady Wranglers defeated the Lady Rangers 2-1 in double overtime. Cisco had scored an initial goal in the first half. Ranger tied the game late in the second half. It eventually went to 2 overtimes, and the Lady Wranglers were able to push across the winning goal. They will have another opportunity to play one another in Ranger sometime in October. For more details, summaries, and photos of all our fall sports, please pick up a copy of the Eastland County Today at your local newsstand. This has been Stephen Forrester, your ECT sports editor. Make some wonderful memories this week. God bless you. We'll see you next time.